replacing the chain, I'm going to use my Motion Pro chain breaker to do the job, just so I get some practice at using the one that I carry on the bike rather than use my big heavy duty one that I usually use in the shed. I'm going to use this one to see how it goes. I'm going to use my Motion Pro chain breaker tool to actually press this plate off. That slides onto there, and then that with a 14 pushes up against the two pins and pushes it off. And there we go. That was easy. Win for the chain breaker tool. So when you're putting on a new chain, when you buy them, they come in a standard length of 120 links in this chain. However, the one that's on the bike only has 116. So you can either count them or you can measure them on the ground and just lay them out. If your chain's really badly worn, it may actually stretch further than the new one, so you just got to watch that if you're going to measure them up and like lie them out. I know there's 116 on this chain that came off the bike, so I will get the new one out and count it out. So this one here, this is the one that's got to go. If we use the chain breaker tool to do this, this will be a good test for it. It comes with these handy instructions so you can see which plate to use and exactly how to do it. It's pretty good. So that's the one we've got to remove. Pushing that into there, screw the body bolt up against it with the pin in behind. And once the body bolt is all nice and tight, then we wind the pin, that middle one, in. And it's just a 14mm spanner. Keep going all the way out and it pushes that pin out. There's your spare links that you're going to need for your chain breaker kit. Which brings me to an important point about chain breaker tool and kit. With my kit I have some spare links and I have some joiner links. If you change the brand of chain, make sure you get different links to match. So I'm changing from a DID chain to an RHK. Got myself some RHK joiner links. We're installing. Now obviously this is a smaller sprocket, so it's a lot looser than it used to be, to the same adjustment point with the 50. You have a choice here between the rivet style link or the clip link. I'm going to use the clip link. I've never had a problem with them. I'm just going to keep using them. Also, this particular chain breaker doesn't have the little ball thing that I know my other one does for the rivet links. It will come with some little thing of grease, so make sure you put the grease on, put the little O-rings on, slide him through. And this is what I want to use. I want to use the chain breaker to press this plate on, and you can't really just push these on. Some guys can use pliers, so I'm just going to use the tool to do it. That's it, that's pushed in. Pull the plates off. And finally, the little clip, obviously pointing. You can usually just tap that in. Done. Just as a little aside there, I'm glad I did that exercise because I realised my toolkit doesn't have a 14mm spanner that you need for the chain breaker. So very worthwhile little exercise. That's how to change the rear sprocket and the chain. I will do the front sprocket a little bit later. I've got to charge up this camera and we'll come back and we'll do the front sprocket.